My name's Chris Madden and I am front of house engineer currently on tour with SADE. Whichever they want to do, really, I don't mind. They normally there's something they need to work on themselves. I don't really need them to come and do a sound check. I'm quite happy to use Pro Tools or just to go without it, because the rooms change so much when you fill in full of people. It's a bit of a pointless exercise, really, for me, I think. Well, we still are at the minute, but that's more for the band than it is for me. I don't need, it's not really a sound check, it's more of an arrangement check or a something else check. We're Horst and I, the monitor engineer, we're kind of in good shape, so we don't really worry about it too much. If they want to do it, it's fine, but we'd go happily not do it. Not me, historically. I never used it, but I know some do, but I haven't. Go on.
So this is no special job for you, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Because she's very special. There's something about her. She has a magic about her. I don't quite know exactly how to put my finger on it, but there's a definite something. Apart from being a great singer and having great songs, and there's an air about her. And I am of that age that I did buy those records. I did one show at the end of last year. I did one. We did a show in New York as a trial to see if we'd all get on, and I was invited back to do the tour. So we must have got on.
Okay.
I did. I like them. I like what the band are great. Yeah, lovely people. It's not a major problem, but you have to bear in mind she sings very quietly, which is, there's no point in asking her to sing louder, really, because it'll just change the way it sounds. That's how she makes the sound that she makes, by singing at that volume. And so yeah, it can be very challenging in a big arena when someone's singing quite quietly. It can make things quite difficult, but we're doing okay. I follow it all the time. I've got my hand on the vocal channel all the time, and it's up and down, up and down, up and down, and I'm following it all the time, just to try and get as much gain when she's singing, and then pull it back out. Otherwise, because there's so much drum noise and ambient noise from the room, and because you have to have the gain up so high in order to get her across, really. But we're doing fine. We're doing fine. I've used nothing but this console for about 6 years now, really. When I've festivals and things, I've used other things, but when it's been my choice, I've used this, and I stick with the bigger one because I'm just used to it. I'm so used to it because this was all there was when I first started using it. I also like there's 2 rows of encoders, not one, and that there's a dedicated high-pass encoder. The profile doesn't have a high-pass filter, a dedicated encoder, and this does. In live environment, I was pulled into the live environment from studios by a friend of mine who was a producer who I'd worked with in studios for a long time, and he was the engineer for the Waterboys in the 1980s, and he was managing them, and he asked me to go and do some shows with the Waterboys in 2000, and I did nothing but the Waterboys for about 5 years. 4 or 5 years, and then I started they had a break and I started doing other things, but I stayed with them, and I did lots of different people then, and then I did Sugar Babes for a while and the Waterboys, and then I resigned from both of those at the same time and went and did Joe Cocker in 2007. So I did a world tour with Joe Cocker in 2007, and then as he finished, as he wound down, I was moved on to Pink in the autumn of 2008, beginning of 2009. So, and then I did the Pink Funhouse tour and the Carnival tour until last summer, and then finished that. Did a few bits and bobs over the winter, not too much, stayed at home, played with my kids, and now I've come and done this.